Good morning. You're watching Inverse Cramer, where we're going to try to do the opposite of everything Jim Cramer says.
Unfortunately, every new generation of investors seems determined to learn the lesson the hard way.
He's starting off this episode talking to the younger investors, and he's going to tell you what he thinks.
They don't want to cash out. They want to let their gains run. They think guys like me are silly fuddy-duddies, like I never did this myself.
He's making generalizations about the younger generation. This might not actually be pointed towards the younger generation. This could be towards boomers, and he could be trying to paint a picture of what the younger generation might be like.
It's like they have no fear. Of course, they don't. They have no fear because the young people think they're invincible. It's the oldest story in the world. So listen, if you're part of this rookie cohort, believe me, I get it. You had all these grizzled money managers telling you to stay the heck away from the market during one of the greatest rises in history, March, April, May, June, July. Their fears turned out to be irrational. You made a fortune if you bet against them. They were the scaredy cats, and you were the opportunist. You got it right.
He knows that your skills are superior to the skills of that of his generation. He is showing respect. Don't believe him for a second. He doesn't respect you.
But you can now get it wrong. Unless you ring the register on something. I don't want to be one of
Unless if you ring the register on something.
the scaremongers. I'm just beginning. Here's what I'm doing.
Oh, I'm just beginning to scaremonger. He lets that Freudian slip get out.
I'm telling you to have some discipline. I expect this market to have a near-term bounce, and discipline means you should sell something to that rebound. Not because the sky is falling. It isn't. Simply because letting all your gains ride is insane. By all means,
Letting your gains ride is insane. He's trying to, it sounds like to me that he's trying to get you to sell because it dipped a little bit, you know?
leave something on the table. And if you have some spare cash, maybe you just dodge a 10% decline.
He wants you to gamble with your spare cash instead of actually investing.
I mean, do something. But I do want you to play with the house's money if you're up huge.
Yeah, he wants you to close out of your position and play with just your winnings. Why would he do that? He's making it sound like that this thing is going to crash real hard and that we're entering nothing but bumpy territory.
First, why do I say this? Well, because when the market goes up this far, this fast, you're going to run into stocks that can't rally even when they report great results. And that's what happened to all sorts of terrific but overextended tech names last week, including a couple
He's trying to get you to think that the party's over.
you hear from this show. Whenever you see that kind of action, it means you have to do some selling. That's a classic warning sign.
He's trying to he's using scaremongering tactics to get you to close out of your position.
Even if the companies are great. Second, right now we're witnessing a rotation that's all about a return to normalcy. What does normalcy mean? More travel, so the airlines are going higher. More dining out, so Chipotle and McDonald's and Darden do better. More shopping, so some of the down-and-out retailers that...
You know, the false non-essential economy of us going to buy stuff that we don't even need with money that we don't even have. He's trying to hype up the return of that stuff. He's trying to get you to get out of your gene editing and get into burgers. He wants you to get out of your 3D printers and your drones and your autonomous taxis. He wants you to get out of innovation and go into bread and butter stuff. I'm not sure if that's how you want to go, but that's what he's trying to get you to do. So what would the inverse of that be?
been left behind to play catch-up. Sure, we have no vaccine yet, and a promising one from AstraZeneca was just put on hold because of an adverse safety event that may cause some people to think, you know what, maybe I shouldn't be in the trials. But you have to admit that things are getting better in the economy.
Things are not getting better in the economy. We're in a K-shaped recovery where for some people you get a V-shaped recovery. And then for some people it's just going to keep getting worse. Okay? And wherever you are on this and what kind of people you have in your life, whoever you have access to or not, only you can know where you're at on that spectrum and whether things are going to continue to get better for you or if things have been getting worse this whole time.
I think it's weird that we got a terrific employment number last week and it caused the market to...
A terrific unemployment number, he says. A lot of people have been unemployed so long that they're no longer counted in the official unemployment statistics. So just by number magic alone, yeah, that's how we got such a good number. But you know from talking to people out there that there's people looking for work.
Yeah. institutional money managers tend to abandon high-flying tech stocks when it looks like business is picking up. Instead, they swap into companies that thrive when the economy accelerates. We also call them the cyclicals. Problem is, tech's gotten so big and the cyclicals have gotten so small that this rotation's crushing the averages. Third, when we get back from Labor Day and election year, politics becomes front and center. Right now, Biden's leading him while he's no Bernie Sanders. If anything, Biden's about...
Okay, he just tried to sneak in that Bernie Sanders was dangerous.
Business friendliest Democrat can get. He still wants to roll back Trump's corporate and capital gains tax cuts. That means lower earnings per share and lower...
Okay, the capital gains tax, he's trying to say that Joe Biden would be bad for that too.
Profits, net profits to you. Whether or not you think that's good policy, it's a concrete negative. Finally,
It's a concrete negative.
So much money in so few stocks, amplified by so many stupid ETFs. I went through them. Those people who issue those should be ashamed. It's entirely...
Many ETFs do carry a lot of, overvalued stocks, and when they go down, the whole ETF can go down. The S&P 500 is basically a giant ETF. I mean, it's a collection of stocks, and the number that they give you is, it's from all of them. So if Tesla takes a big dive, it could drag the whole John. Tesla's not in the S&P 500 yet.
Possible for big declines in Tesla, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook to pull down the entire S&P 500. Bottom line, when we rebound from this sell-off, of which I think we will because it does tend to happen.
When we rebound from this sell-off, after all, it does tend to happen. Perhaps he does know that something's going to crash even harder, or we're going to just continue to see this thing spike to the moon without reason. The market's going to continue to not make any sense. We might get hit with stimulus check out of nowhere this week, and everything's back to going bananas again. Anybody who closed out of their position is going to be very sorry.
I'm insisting that you take something off the table into a bank.
He wants you to close out of your position.
Not because you're afraid,
because you're afraid, because he's trying to scare you.
So I'm afraid, but because it's rational. When you win big,
he's trying to appeal to the rational mind by making you afraid.
Casino, you don't go all in on the next hand.
Comparing it to a casino again, saying that's the same thing as gambling.
Cash in some of those chips and buy yourself a nice sweater. Or
to buy yourself a nice sweater. Again, with that, he wants you to, all the work that you've done to invest and all the research you've done to make your moves and put yourself in the position that you're in, regardless of whether you're 10% down or not today, the ideas that you had for the future is still true. He's trying to get you to close out of your position and go buy some crap that you don't need.
Maybe, if you really hit it, one of those Brad Pitt sports jackets.
He's trying to get you to buy a Brad Pitt sports jacket. He wants you to forget all about your gene editing and your...
From Bioni? Wow, there's something.
Your cashless systems.
Don't miss a
now it's over.
Follow at Jim Cramer.
Don't follow him on Twitter. You're watching Inverse Cramer. This is from September 9th at market close. So it won't be till September 10th, which is today, that we'll be able to see the market react to Jim Cramer's statements and his voodoo magic. I shouldn't say voodoo, but his telepathic magic.
Twitter. Have a question? Tweet Cramer. #MadTweets. Send Jim an email.
Don't send Jim an email.
madmoney@cnbc.com or give us a call.
Do not give them a call.
1-800-743-CNBC. Miss something? Head to madmoney.cnbc.com.
Don't visit their website. You can go to my Patreon, Smokin' Donuts. Just think about what I could do if I had a legit studio to deliver this type of content to you. I want to bring you the opposite of what I want to bring you Inverse Cramer so that you can use that information as a hedge. I am not a licensed financial analyst. I do not give financial advice. You have to consult with a licensed finance person before relying on any of the ideas. But neither is Jim Cramer. He's just an entertainer. It's just for entertainment purposes only. But I don't think this guy can swing markets, but he's trying to. He has millions of viewers who take in this energy that he's given them, and they might make decisions. You might see more sell-offs tomorrow because people think that's what's the right thing to do. I don't know if you're going to be able to call this dip or not. It's up to you. But September 10th coming into it, this is just the opposite of what Jim Cramer's telling you what to do, okay? Think about it. Do you really want to cash out of your portfolio and go buy some crap you don't need? Is that what's